Hello, welcome to the Working Graduate Student. My name is Jeff Ragsdale. I'm the Assistant Dean of Graduate Strategic Partnership here at the Graduate School at UTSA. Just a little bit about myself. I graduated in 2017 with my doctorate in educational leadership while working full-time here at the university. And really the things I'm going to share with you today are just some tips along the way that I found useful. These are things you've probably already seen, but I just want to kind of pass them along and hopefully they'll be of use to you. So one of the first things to think about as a working graduate student is the multiple roles you're going to be playing. You're going to have your academic and professional obligations. They're going to have, schedules attached to those, expectations within the classroom and within what you need to do at work. You're going to need to prioritize all that stuff. Additionally, you're going to have family and friend obligations. The important thing about family and friends is you want to kind of clue them into what's going on in your academic world. Let them see what's going on. Prepare them for graduate school as well as preparing yourself, because they really are going to be your social outlet and social support through your graduate journey. So one of the first things I did as a graduate student was prepare my planner. I did it in an electronic format, but I had friends who had big wall calendars and kind of would have a semester by semester plan. But whatever works for you, that's what I would kind of go with. The first thing I did, so I got my syllabus. I would get my syllabus. The syllabus, what's great about it is it details everything you need to do for the semester, what the expectations are for the semester, what you need to read, what, if you have any papers, presentations, projects, all that kind of stuff is built in your syllabus. So I would take that and I would put it into my planner, first thing first. After that, I would put my work obligations. I didn't necessarily put I work 9 to 5 or anything along those lines, but I kind of put, I'm on this project and it's due X date. I'm on this committee and it has a due date of X. Just so that was kind of on there. The only thing I kind of did as a daily thing was I needed to do a daily download at 2 to 3 hours. So I would put that on my planner as well, just so I knew that it took 2 to 3 hours. Make sure you start it by 3 o'clock so that you're ready to go to class by 6. The other thing I needed to learn was when I was most productive, and this kind of took a couple of semesters. And what I kind of found was I was most productive early to mid-afternoon, and that's when I would do the bulk of my research and my writing on the weekends. During the week, I had maybe a 5 to 7. On some of the days I wasn't in school, I would kind of do some research as well. The other thing I found was reading I could do late at night. So what I would do in my planner was I would put whatever reading assignments I had, and I would probably put them in at about 9 o'clock at night, give myself an hour to read an assignment and take notes and be ready for the next class, as well as putting my whatever, maybe paper I was writing and so forth, and kind of putting in those time frames of when was the best time for me to write and do research. Another thing I used was the priority matrix. Now, I didn't use this as an everyday tool or an every week tool. I use it towards the end of the semester. Like I said, there's plenty of these on the internet. This is just one that worked for me. What's kind of great about it is you can kind of go by high importance to low importance. And, I kind of put my end goal of a paper would be that high importance, but I might put some other things like I got to meet with a professor to kind of talk about some of the things in my paper. I need to maybe have a thought session about what I'm going to write about, and I would kind of write that in as well. So that way I had this whole kind of action plan built into this priority matrix. And like I said, I kind of use that at the end of the semester, because this is when everything kind of gets crazy. Before this, you have papers due and readings, but they're kind of spread out throughout the entire semester. The last 2 to 3 weeks of the semester, there's a lot of things due at the same time, and they kind of intersect between different classes, presentations, papers, and so forth. And so you need to I kind of use that priority matrix to kind of keep my work balance, as well as being able to mix in if I had anything from work due as well, kind of end of semester stuff. As working here at the university, I had a lot of end of semester things that were due. So I kind of write that in as well and kind of figure out things I could hold off and things that needed to kind of happen immediately. Another thing I needed to learn to do was learn to say no. and learn to say no on kind of multiple fronts. It wasn't just saying no to friends and family. Sometimes it was saying no to things at work, saying no to things at in school as well. So, for example, maybe friends wanted to go out to dinner on a Saturday night, but the paper was due Saturday night by midnight, and I'd have to say no to them and say, "Hey, I can't have dinner with you tonight, but hey, let's meet tomorrow." Same thing with work. Maybe they wanted to add me onto another project. I would, kind of say, no, I really can't do that right now. Once once the project I'm on now is done, maybe I can add this to it later, and that should be done in about 2 weeks, and kind of negotiate what I could do within the work environment. Another important thing to do is kind of schedule your relaxation date and me time. A lot of times you want to kind of be in the moment. That's not always possible as a graduate student. And so schedule this time. Maybe you need to recharge your batteries, go home, listen to music, whatever it is that you do. Maybe schedule a date night with that significant other, to kind of have that work-life balance. Another important thing is welcome family and friend support. They're along on the journey with you many times. And so one of the things I did was I showed them my planner. I showed them, this is everything I need to do for the semester, but I also kind of worked in date nights. I also worked in things with friends, just to kind of show that everything that was kind of important to me that's in that semester, school, work, and friends and family, were all built into my planner. And so I was kind of being transparent with them and kind of letting them know, hey, this is what I need to do, but I also want you to be part of this as well. Available resources. So one of the things I learned really early on was using my resources at UTSA. One of the ones I used the most was the library. One great thing about the library, it's open 24 hours. So you can go and find a journal, start reading it, do all that kind of stuff, kind of 24 hours a day. But they also have in-person things as well. So for instance, there's a writing lab there, there's study areas. You can actually reserve a room for a study group, things of that nature. There's also librarians there who specialize in certain colleges. So getting to know that person was actually key as well, because they were able to turn me on to resources I didn't even know existed that helped my papers be more well-rounded and much better. Another really great resource is the Career Center. The Career Center isn't just for, hey, I'm about to graduate and now I need to find a job. They do a lot of things along the way. They do things like different workshops in terms of maybe how to do an elevator speech. They also do meet and greets with people in the industry. So it's another really great tool to use in terms of the Career Center. You might meet people out there who are have the same interests you have, and I would definitely take advantage of that. Another important tool is the graduate school website. You've already started using it. You used it to start your application. You used it to kind of sign up for orientation, but we do other things as well. We do a lot of professional development activities. So for instance, we have writing workshops. We have dissertation and formatting webinars. We also have graduate school information sessions, as well as First Friday, where we meet and have coffee and donuts and things of that nature every first Friday of the month. So definitely the graduate school has a variety of things to kind of help you along your academic journey, including at the end of your journey when it's time to turn in a lot of forms that you might need in terms of dissertations, maybe thesis. That's all on our website in a nice, easy area to find. Another important resource is the catalog. The catalog is where your degree plan of study lives. So it kind of outlines the requirements for your program, all the courses involved, and kind of get a little synopsis of what each class is. Also in the catalog is the rules and regulations of the university. So those are important things to kind of know along your academic journey. Another piece of the catalog that's kind of connected to it in some sense is DegreeWorks. DegreeWorks is your degree plan in an electronic format. What's great about it is it lists all the courses you need for your degree plan and checks them off and highlights them in red, yellow, green in terms of whether you are completed, need to still take, or you're actually in the course at the time. And it's a great tool to use when you go and speak with your academic advisor about your next steps in your academic journey and when you kind of finish your plan of study. Another important resource is faculty mentors. When you connect with the mentors, a lot of times it's because they have the same area that just you have. So they're going to be able to connect you to other students who have that same interest, research. They can show you their research, other professionals in that environment. So they're a great resource to kind of get to know. These are people that may also be on your dissertation committee. So definitely reach out to faculty members. Along the same lines of faculty members are staff that work in the departments. The staff are great resources because they really know how to navigate the university. A lot of times you have to turn in paperwork, and they can tell you, you know what, you need to turn that in on X day because it takes 6 weeks to complete. Things of that nature to kind of help make your journey a little bit easier and not have so much stress. Another important um, resource is the people you're going to meet in your class. They're going to become your colleagues. They are, originally you might kind of meet them in an organic way, but eventually you might also be kind of paired up in terms of writing papers, presentations, and so forth. But this group ends up being also professional colleagues later on. They're the ones who can maybe tell you what jobs are available. In terms of my cohort, a lot of people from my cohort are all over the United States, and I meet them all the time at professional development conferences, and we catch up that way. But we also, if there's anything kind of happening in the educational industry, we reach out to each other. So this is something that's kind of a lifelong professional development opportunity that's right there with you within the classroom. Lastly, I like to talk about kind of virtual support groups. We have social media, things you can do within social media to create support groups. There's also things like Zoom meetings, things of that nature that maybe you can't meet with your study group in person, but you could do it within a Zoom meeting and get some notes and some discussion going that way, and take note features and all that kind of stuff, and kind of use that to your advantage as a graduate student. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me for the Working Graduate Student. If you need to reach out to the graduate school, you can reach out to us at graduateschool.utsa.edu, or you can give us a call, 458-4331. If you want to contact me, you can reach me at jeffrey.ragsdale@utsa.edu. Thank you for your time.